the speech. The transcript gives us the body, and the body is hollow. The moon. He opened with Artemis II, not with the 13 dead Americans, not with the war, with the moon. The first words of the first primetime address about the first major American war in a decade were about a rocket. This is a man who has already left the war emotionally. The moon is where he wants to be. Iran is where he has to be. The opening tells you which one he cares about. The historical lies and distortions. Their proxies were behind the attack on the USS Cole. The USS Cole was attacked by Al-Qaeda, not Iran, not Iranian proxies. Al-Qaeda, the Sunni jihadist organization that is Iran's theological enemy. This is not a gray area. It's not a matter of interpretation. The Cole bombing was planned by Al-Qaeda operatives in Yemen. Attributing it to Iran in a primetime address to the nation is a factual falsehood delivered to tens of millions of Americans who cannot fact-check it in real time. They carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the blood. Just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel. Iran did not carry out October 7th. Hamas carried out October 7th. Hamas is Sunni. Iran has provided funding and some support to Hamas, but Iran did not plan, direct, or execute October 7th. U.S. intelligence assessments have consistently stated that Iran was not operationally involved in the October 7th attack. Attributing it to Iran collapses the distinction between state sponsor of groups that committed an act and carried out the act, and does so deliberately to connect the emotional weight of October 7th to the Iran war. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting. The 2022-23 Masa Amini protests resulted in approximately 500 to 550 confirmed deaths, according to human rights organizations. 45,000 is not a documented figure from any credible source. If he's referring to a broader historical period, the number still doesn't match any verified accounting. This appears to be a fabricated or massively inflated number stated as fact in a primetime address. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash. The $1.7 billion was Iran's own money. Frozen Iranian assets from a 1979 arms deal that was never fulfilled. It was returned as part of a legal settlement. Calling it a gift, or implying Obama gave Iran American taxpayer money, is a long-standing talking point that misrepresents the transaction. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons. The JCPOA was specifically designed to prevent nuclear weapons by limiting enrichment, reducing stockpiles, and implementing the most intrusive inspection regime in history. Every signatory, including U.S. allies, assessed that the deal was working when Trump withdrew from it. The IAEA confirmed Iranian compliance 14 times. What he said about Hormuz. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. The countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. Go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. When this conflict is over, the strait will open up naturally. It will just open up naturally. This is the most consequential passage in the speech. The President of the United States has formally abdicated responsibility for the world's most important maritime choke point. The strait that was open before the war, that closed because of the war, is now someone else's problem, and it will open up naturally. No plan, no mechanism, no timeline, just naturally. The IRGC said today, the Strait of Hormuz is firmly and decisively under the control of its forces. Iran's parliament legislated the toll booth. The strait will not open up naturally. It will open when someone forces it open, or when Iran decides to open it. The president just told the world he won't be the one doing either. The war aims. Final accounting. The speech presents these objectives as achieved. Navy destroyed, check, largely true. Air Force destroyed, check, largely true. Missile capability curtailed, check, partially true. Reduced, but not eliminated. Nuclear program setback, check, temporarily. Uranium still exists underground. Defense industrial base annihilated, check, partially true. Leadership killed, check, partially true. Regime survived and reconstituted. The speech does not mention Hormuz reopened cross, abandoned as objective. Uranium secured cross, abandoned. I don't care about that. Proxy network dismantled cross. Houthis just entered the war. Hezbollah still fighting. Journalist kidnapped by Kataib Hezbollah today. Iran denuclearized permanently cross. Setback for years, not eliminated. Regional stability achieved cross. Gulf states struck. NATO fracturing. Lebanon invaded. Oil prices stabilized cross, not mentioned. $106 Brent tonight. The objectives achieved are the ones that bombs can accomplish. The objectives abandoned are the ones that require diplomacy, sustained presence, or cooperation from the enemy. The speech declares victory on the terms the military can deliver and silently discards every objective that requires the enemy's participation. Regime change was not our goal. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change. February 28, 2026. Trump's 8-minute Truth Social video. The hour of your freedom is at hand. He said it. It's on video. It's archived. The hour of your freedom is at hand. Is regime change language addressed directly to the Iranian people. Saying, we never said regime change in a primetime address is a lie told to tens of millions of people about something they can verify by checking a post from 33 days ago. The comparison passage. World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. We are in this military operation for 32 days. This is the VDH framework delivered from the podium. Comparing duration without comparing outcomes. World War I ended with an armistice and defined terms. World War II ended with unconditional surrender. Korea ended with a ceasefire and a defined border. This war is ending with Hormuz closed, uranium underground, a toll booth legislated, and a speech that says, nearing completion. Duration is not the measure. Outcome is. 32 days to reach nearing completion, with none of the strategic objectives fully achieved, is not a favorable comparison to wars that ended with their objectives met. The Dover Passage. Twice this past month I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base. Please, sir, please finish the job. Every one of them. He mentioned the 13 dead. He went to Dover. He spoke to the families, and he used their grief as an argument for continuing the bombing. Honor them by completing the mission. The dead become leverage for the living's decisions. Lincoln would note, the families said, finish the job. The job was supposed to be finished already. The hard part is done, Hegseth said 2 days ago. If the hard part is done, what job remains for the dead to be honored by? The sentence that defines the war. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated both militarily and economically and in every other way. And yet, Hormuz is closed. The toll booth is legislated. Oil is $106. Gas is $4. A journalist was kidnapped today. The IRGC controls the strait. Iran's president wrote a letter that 4.4 million people read. The market futures dropped 490 points after this speech. Completely decimated in every way, except the one way that matters to every American who pulls into a gas station tomorrow morning. The NYT sidebar. The most devastating thing on the page isn't in the transcript. It's in the sidebar stories the NYT placed alongside it. Multiple U.S. intelligence agencies have assessed that the Iranian government is not currently willing to engage in substantial negotiations. The speech says discussions are ongoing. U.S. intelligence says Iran isn't willing to negotiate. Both are published on the same page by the same newspaper at the same hour. Trump has discussed firing Attorney General Pam Bondi over her handling of the Epstein files, which has become a political liability. The Epstein thread. Still there, still running beneath the war. Still waiting. War makes honest fools of us all. The speech lasted 19 minutes. It contained at least 3 factual falsehoods. It abandoned Hormuz without naming it. It claimed regime change was never a goal, while the video saying otherwise is still online. It used the 13 dead as an argument for more bombing. And it ended with greater than it has ever been before, while the futures market dropped 490 points. 5,000 dead. 19 minutes. Not one name except the ones used as leverage. I don't know why we are fighting if we have never been attacked. Joshua Byers still doesn't have an answer. He got 19 minutes of reasons why Iran is bad. He didn't get a reason why his country had to go to war on February 28, 2026, when the deal was on the table and the strait was open. The harvest keeps receipts. The speech kept none. But the harvest remembers. War makes honest fools of us all. The speech just made it official.